Hello everyone, Giltard here with a video that's basically two parts. The first part's just a little, and the second part's going to be more extensive. The first part is basically a brief channel update. To put it bluntly, I am putting my review videos on indefinite hiatus. The reason for this is that I'm just simply not satisfied with the visual quality that I'm able to deliver with my current setup. That includes my video camera, which is not great. But at the time that I purchased it, it wasn't even top of the line or anywhere close, and it was a model that was already in production for a few years. So the camera, it needs to be updated. I need to get a new one that's much better. The second thing I want to do is to acquire a light box or a light tent to use as a shooting area. Right now, I'm just using a part of my work desk in my rec room. I point the camera towards the corner of the wall. I put the object of the review on a rotating stand, and I go from there. It's not terrible by any means, but I really do feel like I need to step up my game, so to speak. And the only reason for doing this is that I'm not satisfied with not being able to show you guys clearly and crisply what I'm talking about. And specifically, things like certain paint details or sculpted details in these relatively small objects that I review. I review toys and model kits. Usually they're about 6 inches tall, sometimes a little taller. Rarely do they get above 12 inches. Most of the time I review 6 to 8 inch toys. And often they're of robots and similar types of character designs, I suppose. And these things have really great sculpted detail, but it's hard to showcase that when my camera is not able to pick that up or bring it across to you guys adequately. And so that's why I'm going on hiatus. This is actually something that's been bothering me for the last several months, and it never really became clear to me until today, where I shot a review video of Dark Side Soundwave and Wheeljack from the Takara Tomy Lost Age line of Age of Extinction toys. And when I played back the video to watch, I realized, yeah, it's not good enough, and I can't do this anymore. I need to get better equipment and a better setup. In fact, I've shot several review videos over the last couple of months, and every time I've deleted the videos after reviewing them just because, again, I was not satisfied by the video quality. And I want to be able to show you guys what I'm talking about. I want you guys to be able to see certain sculpted details that I'm not even pointing out, but then you're able to see them for yourselves and then add them to your own assessment during the time that I'm reviewing a product for you. And I really do feel it's important because right from the beginning, the intention of my video channel here was to review products to help people decide whether or not they want to invest money into a purchase. And this is a hobby that we share, and it's something where we should only be using our spare funds that we can afford to set aside. I would hate for people to spend money and have regret over it because they weren't properly informed over a purchase. So in order for me to be able to serve that function better, I need to get better equipment. And until that happens, I will not be reviewing any more products. However, I will try to still provide video content in terms of videos in which I offer discussions, and I would definitely like to continue that. So moving on to the second part, which incidentally involves discussion, I would like to offer the subject or the topic of the third-party industry for discussion. Specifically, the third-party industry for Transformers and transforming robot toys in general. It's something that I've not really been involved in for a few years. I originally got involved with it when Fans Project released their City Commander add-on set, and it ended when I bought their Steel Core toy a couple of years ago. And at that point, I realized, third-party products were very nice, very cool, but they just weren't up to snuff in some ways to me. Basically, the price point, for the most part, was not measuring up to what I was getting at the end of the day. And I sold off most of my third-party products. The only things I kept were my City Commander add-on set and my my Bruticus add-on set for for the Transformers Bruticus toys. And aside from that, I sold everything else. And without regret, and without any sort of feeling of, oh, I don't like these anymore. Rather, it was just I didn't have a room for them in my collection. And they didn't suit their purpose as I wanted them to. And so I was happy to sell them to people who were able to give these products a new home in which they can be properly appreciated. Now, fast forward to a couple of years later, Hasbro and Takara Tomy, the owners of the Transformers brand, are announcing some really great things. However, these really great things are not things I'm interested in. And in order to scratch that itch I have for transforming robot toys, I've looked elsewhere. I've looked into various robot toys in other brands. But I've also looked into the third-party transforming robot toy industry. And because I haven't been involved with it for a couple of years, once I sort of got refreshed on it, I was pleasantly surprised for two main things. Number one, the advancement of these third-party companies as, I guess, business-savvy companies has impressed me. By no means are they perfect, but in particular, I was really impressed by how much they've taken advantage of the opportunity to communicate with the collecting community through social media technologies, things like forums, blogs, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. I really liked seeing that open communication from these companies, for the most part, with their customers, with their fans. And the second thing that really pleasantly surprised me and impressed me was just the advancement of these products. When I got out of the third-party toy industry collecting situation, I got Steel Core from Fans Project, and that was a nice figure, but it just wasn't doing it for me. And moving on to a couple of years later, just the sculpting has improved so much for these toys. The design and engineering of the functionality of these toys as transforming toys, as ultimately puzzle toys, again, has also advanced to the point where I'm just really impressed and thoroughly enjoying catching up on the scene. And so I am going to be moving towards acquiring some third-party products. I think before I go on any further, I would also like to say that I don't condone third-party products or the selling, the manufacturer, the owning of, and all that. But at the same time, I also don't endorse it. To me, I just think people have to make their own decisions for themselves. If you want a third-party product, or if you don't want it, that's fine. You have your own reason, and I have no problem with that. At the same time, if people want to get into a discussion of the morality and ethics, that's great. It's something that I'm not personally interested in involving myself in. But if you guys want to comment on that point of the third-party industry, whether it's in the comment section or a video response, please go ahead and do so. I welcome all responses as long as they're civil, as long as they contribute to a productive conversation. So moving back on to the third-party topic, something else that has been on my mind about them is the fact that it seems like quite a few of these newer products are gradually moving away from slavish homages to Transformers intellectual property. And it's been mentioned by some people who have seen prototypes and have seen displays at the recent Transformers conventions and toy conventions and just conventions in general, that a lot of these toys, a lot of these products, if you were to take away a few sort of signature iconic aspects of the design, they would otherwise be unrecognizable robot toys. You wouldn't recognize them as, say, an Optimus Prime or something else to that effect. And I think that's a good thing. I think that third-party companies have a lot of potential, and to simply rely upon sort of riding on the intellectual property of the Transformers brand can only take you so far. And there's a lot of great talent in these companies, and I want to see these companies flourish under their own, I guess, will and power in respect of, what they do. So it's very difficult to say because, The third-party industry only exists because of Transformers, and only exists because of people's desire to get, I guess, a version of a character in a more idealized form that currently Hasbro or Takara Tomy are not interested in producing. So when you take that away, there's a lot of weakness in the third-party industry because now they no longer have brand recognition. They're no longer associated with the Transformers concept with a capital T. But again, I really like seeing companies do their own thing. And I hope to see that progress. I hope to see that continue. So that someday we're going to get no longer just simply third-party companies, but rather we're going to get independent toy companies that can offer high-end toys at competitive costs that will appeal to collectors of Transformers and robot toys in general. And so I'm pretty excited about the scene right now. It seems like there's a lot of potential for growth, and that there is desire to move away from being slavish, homaging companies. And that's a thing that I think is a positive movement. So those are my thoughts for now. As always, I really would like to hear your opinions on this discussion point, in particular the third-party industry. Again, if you want to discuss morality and ethics, go ahead, but please keep it civil. It's not something I'm going to get involved in, but I will try my best to respond to people if they have any questions directed towards me. As always, please leave comments in the comment section, and if you have the ability to shoot a video and you have a YouTube account, please shoot a video response. Let me know what the link address is, and I'll link it in this video and in the description section. So that's it for now. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you at the next video.